Aye. Um, However, I wouldn't really worry about it. I don't know if you noticed how good my buddy said he looked. Nice clothing, that kind of thing. Let's just say the man gets around. I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised if he was already on it.
he's not my type, but oh, yes, of course.
So you guys are standing in the wellspring chamber still. Giller in front of you, and he just kind of looks around at you guys. And as you previously mentioned, he is open to the idea of just going after the church. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to say to him at this point to try to persuade that direction more, or are you guys just ready to move on from here?
So, Geller, while I'm all on board with burning the church to the ground, those fellows that we saw in the church, they look pretty heavily armed, and I imagine there's quite a few of them. So, you got any ideas on how we can do this? Not bursting in the front door. Not that I'm opposed.
He sits and thinks for a moment, and well, at this point, I don't know that that's even an option, honestly. I feel like with what happened here, that they're very aware of what is going on, more so than I even expected, and this is not going to be handled lightly. So, either we take the fight to them, or I'm going to assume they're going to bring it to us, one way or another.
Well, it tends to go he who strikes first strikes last, so let's fucking go.
What military resources do you have available to you here? I mean, we're all fairly competent fighters, I would say, but it's going to take more than the five of us to sail a walled city.
In terms of physical fighters, very little. We do have a few there's a small group of us that we have to send when we need to handle things that are very good at getting in and out without notice. But beyond that, we don't have much in the ways of a frontline fighter. We have elementals, artillery, siege, things of that nature, but not much beyond that.
You have siege weaponry?
Well, I mean, relatively.
Do you not?
There's 2,000 mages that live within the city and are adept spellcasters, so artillery we can manage.
So, perhaps it's best to try and bait the powers that be into surrender, or at least a parlay. They sent these men here, and he gestures at the corpses in the room. They sent these men here to send a message. Perhaps we should send a message back. With your permission, I would like to have these men dressed for proper burial in the tradition of the Archon, and have them sent back to the church with a message asking, or commanding rather, that the church bury them as is right and proper, abandons their heretical ways, sits down to discuss the terms of their surrender before more of them since die.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage there, Sir Roland.
Okie dokie. 25.
That's pretty good. Well, that's not bad.
It's a charisma build, folks.
Fine.
You're a regular liar over there.
You see Giller kind of just thinking about what you said, and he... No, yeah, that's valid. We can... And you see him snap his fingers, and you see just this little, like, puff of smoke kind of appear by his, like, closer to him. And then as the smoke starts to dissipate, there's nothing standing there, but you can see like the footprints going through the dirt in the wellspring chamber.
Just through a pool of blood.
And you can see like the bodies as like they start to get like drug across the floor and like organized over into the side. And then as Gillard continues to talk to you, he's like, I think that's a good idea. I don't think that it would be... I feel that it would be wise to attempt some type of communication before any type of war would be started, but I also feel that giving them time to organize and bolster themselves, it might not be a terrible idea to reach out to any potential allies that you may have either, and see what type of help they can send, if any.
I was going to ask, how quickly can you get a message to Capingale? We should send word to Ovrim and Sorith.
Immediately. What would you like to say?
I suppose just tell them what's happened here and that, we plan on trying to take down the church.
I could send word to City over in the Thieves Guild and perhaps my older as well.
I could send a notice back to the Fleur Blanc what forces they would be able to spell.
I was going to fit all that in 25 words, Dominic.
Well, good thing it's a whole bunch of different people and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you could send a runner for that Rakshasa cleric down the church, I believe it would be of great use. And what limited ground forces you do have, perhaps it would be a good idea to dispatch patrols, scout to the main routes to hear from Bracacor, to either lie in ambush or wait to see if there are any appreciable troop movement.
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem. We keep an eye on things already, so it shouldn't even seem out of the ordinary. So when would you like to have these people basically shipped out immediately? Do you guys want time to kind of discuss things before you do that? Like what is your timeline here? Like, are you guys ready to move like full force on this right now?
I think with our prisoner, it might be a good idea to like send the prisoner back with the mark of castigation, but also with the message like, "Hey, this is what happened to the force you sent to kill us. Your best option is to sit down with us at the negotiating table, or else, whoever else you send is going to meet the same fate." And while we're doing that and waiting for the response, send out the scouts and reach out to all of our respective resources to get more people. And then Roland turns to Emmerin and says, your people in the city, is there any way we can begin to organize them? Because it is one thing for a city to resist siege from without, but if there is a siege outside the walls and unrest inside the walls, it's very difficult for any institution to stand.
Aye. However, I wouldn't really worry about it. I don't know if you noticed how good my buddy said he looked. Nice clothing, that kind of thing. Let's just say the man gets around. I wouldn't be surprised if he was already on it.
He's not my type, but... Oh, yes, of course.
Emmerin neither confirms nor denies that any of this happened.
So, as you guys kind of pick the things up, Giller, for those of you that maybe didn't quite catch that, summoned an unseen servant and is having this unseen servant kind of prepare the bodies, get everything ready. After a few minutes of you guys talking, Dava makes his way down into the undercroft where this is.
Dava is the Rakshasa cleric from the church.
I would have also accepted not much whatsoever with you.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Who's the Archon in town again? I'm sorry. Magic,
yes. If my brain will do the thing where it remembers shit.
Yep.
Edon, yeah.
I remember that name.
So, and Dava shows up and he gives a very deep bow to Giller. Yes. What can I do for you, sir? And then he sees that you guys are all standing down here, and he goes, and then he sees all the bodies, and he goes, what?
Dava, my friend, we have some funerary rites to perform. You may want to send for some shrouds.
Yes, yeah, we can. Yes, and he you see this kind of very wide-eyed look, and he has done this a lot for people who have passed away of natural causes, things of that nature, but the physical gruesome nature of the violence is actively bothering him, and he's like, I will have somebody take care of this immediately. Is there anything else that you all need?
What? They died naturally. They crossed me, and naturally they died.
Make sure you take a look at the one that Orlo got over there. He does not look good.
We all get caught up in the spirit of battle. It's okay, Orlo.
Yeah, but some of us take it a little farther, Rolly.
I think rubbing it in is not really the time or the place.
You see as
what are you guys talking about?
Oh, sorry.
Nothing, buddy. Don't worry about it.
You see
You
as
turn that
Dava
man into
turns
pudding.
and looks at the one that Laya points out specifically, and he goes, "Which?" And just turns and like goes out the door, and you hear just very faintly just this retching as he kind of, you see him prestidigitate himself and come back in, and he goes, sorry, yes, anything else? And he's just like staring directly at the floor.
Yes, brother. I'm going to write up a report that I'd like to be sent back to the clerics, Fleur Blanc. You know.
Absolutely, yes. I will have someone take care of the rites, and when they come back to the church, I will get that sent out immediately for you.
Outstanding.
And you see as he kind of backs out of the chamber and gives another very deep bow to Giller. And Giller just kind of gives him a slight nod, and he turns and heads out. Giller looks at the group of you and goes, let's get you all fed and rested, and we will take care of the intricacies of this all tomorrow. I will send word to those who you have asked, and we will continue this discussion in the morning.
Fair enough. Now that you mention it, I am hungry. Is anybody else hungry?
Starving.
Orlo's already eating out of his pouch of berries. He just kind of like looks over side eye.
Orlo, I've been meaning to ask you, are those like food or fun?
Yes.
Food, what else would they be?
Uh,
I mean, they're fun to eat, but they are food.
I think he's referring to something similar to your nice little magic powder you've got there.
Oh, no, these are just food.
let me hold one of those, man.
Orlo will just like toss one over to him.
Roland, after the battle, he's like really chipper, and he tries to catch the berry in his.
Go ahead and make a
See,
either
what we
an
got?
athletics, acrobatics, or an acrobatics check.
All right, I'm gonna do
Emmerin
athletic.
shoots the berry out of the air with an arrow.
Shoots it out of the air with an arrow. A 19 athletics check.
So Roland actually, Orlo, you toss the berry up, and he, like, you hear the clanking of his armor as he, like, kind of quickly shifts down.
Okay, I'm back.
He's back.
Discord kicked me out.
And like you see him like catch it in his mouth.
Well, that's impressive. I thought I was the only one around here that could move that fast.
It's a good berry.
God damn it.
Yeah, just pick them
No,
up on
I
the
do
trails
that
as
just
we're
so you can-
traveling.
Actually, I don't have that spell.
What?
Goodberry.
What?
Never mind.
Can't believe you. Why? I can't believe you've done this.
Just when we were starting to have fun.
Yeah.
Oh. Giller takes you. Takes you up to the top of the tower, and past Laya and Emmerin's favorite going, studying friend who's still looking for the rules that he was looking for previously.
Just gonna
And
walk by going.
Don't
Oh,
ask.
don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Man, that is an enormous poach.
doors open. He again walks into this very large open study space, windows all around, and he turns back to the group of you and goes, any extra dimensional objects you may have on you, if you wouldn't mind just leaving them right here on the table. I assure you, nothing will happen to them.
Oh man, we just remembered to put these clips on the bag.
Does that? Well, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. We need to put the bags down.
What
Just the
makes
clips.
you think we would have any extra dimensional items to place
Orlo.
anywhere?
I don't assume that you do or do not. I'm just giving you the option to do so before we are all viciously torn apart if you do not.
You drive a hard point.
Perhaps we could have dinner somewhere else. A
We could
a
just-
restaurant town.
I'm feeling Indian. How about you guys? Yeah.
I felt that giving you somewhere safe away from any potential harm, since we very clearly have an imminent
Harm?
threat. Yes.
To us? Did you see that guy? That guy that I dealt with in a totally normal way?
In a completely fine
we
and
should
normal
talk
way.
about that. It's,
That definitely won't be sending me to therapy.
why would I go to therapy for something that is just a completely normal guy would do?
Yes, I understand you're quite capable, but it's much harder to do anything when you are asleep. If you would like, we can go down to the inn, and you can stay there if that's more preferable.
As long as our horse and owlbear are taken care of, I have no preference.
Horse and owlbear? That's just
Yeah.
what you call them? This is why Steve bites you.
He doesn't know their names.
I assume
This
that
is
will
why he
not
bites
be
you.
hard to find. I will make sure that it's taken care of.
Just
Well,
look for
just-
the owlbear and the horse who's smoking.
And he means a cigarette, not a really good-looking, attractive horse.
He's not a bad-looking horse,
Bruce.
just objectively speaking. Fine horse.
And there it is. There's a short. Easy peasy.
You set down your bags. I think that's all you guys have that's extra dimensional, correct?
Where'd we
Nope.
put the carriage? Is it still outside?
I was gonna ask, is the carriage still
Yeah.
outside, or does one of us have it?
I don't have it.
Because I don't think we can put it in the bag.
I thought you had left it outside, but I also do not recall.
As long as we're on the same page about it.
Yeah, pretty sure we left it outside.
So yeah, you set your bags down and you see Giller just reach out and literally into the open space in the middle of this room and just grabs onto something and turns like a handle and pushes it open, and you see this kind of arched doorway start to swing open in the middle of the room, and you can see beyond it very lavish, warm stone floor, wood furniture, but very nice, well made. You can smell like perfumes, but also the smell of like very fresh, home cooked food, just filling the air as this door opens up in front of you. And he kind of opens the door and takes a step back and gestures towards it and goes, "After you."
Orlo waits for somebody else to go in first.
Emmerin's
Fine.
gonna look around.
I'll go. I'll go. And
Yeah, he'll go.
Roland goes, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate your hospitality." And he bows. And then he walks into the death trap.
And Laya will also do a deep curtsy and follow.
Emmerin will walk up, look up at Geller, pat him on the shoulder twice, and go, "Oh, you turned out to be all right after all," and then kept on walking.
Orlo goes to the inn.
Orlo goes and sleeps in the carriage, hangs out with Max and Steve all night. No, Orlo walks up to the door frame, or what appears to be the door frame, and just like kind of like taps on the inside of it, and just like keeps like tapping with Bone Breaker, and then like just takes out a berry and like tosses it across the throat, which is what happens. And even after seeing like 3 people, and then just like sees nothing happens, and then just like walks through.
Go ahead and give me an investigate check, Orlo.
On. Oh God. 12.
You've seen a lot of things as you've been adventuring over these last couple of weeks. Coming from a very simple life, this conceptually makes 0 sense to Orlo. Like, you can see the doorway, and you can see the things inside of the doorway, and even though like you tap Bonebreaker around and like it's all physically there, but you hate every part of this. Like everything inside of you is like, this is fucked up and wrong. But you see that Laya, Roland, and Emmerin all walk in, and they are perfectly fine. The berry hits the ground and rolls across, and then you see a broom like immediately like shoot across and sweep it up.
Orlo is just like kind of like just like does like a quick hop back and like then walks through after seeing the broom shoot across. Very startled.
You see Giller kind of out of the corner of your eye. He cracks a small smile and he says very lightly to you, he goes, I promise, friend, it's perfectly safe.
Yeah, that stays between us. You didn't see anything.
I saw nothing. You walk in and he walks in behind you and shuts the door.
You know, every fairy tale I've ever heard that starts like ends with a child being.
I assure you there are no children here to be eaten. There is,
That's
however,
too bad. I was hungry.
There is, however, near anything your heart desires within this place. There are servants that will tend to you, draw baths, clean, cook your food, bring it to you. Whatever you need, they will take care of. All you have to do is ask. I, again, will leave you to rest here and do whatever you need to do. I will be back first thing in the morning to fetch you, and we can hopefully come to something more simple, but if not, we can begin planning a siege. I cannot thank you enough for what you have done. But we will resolve this together.
What does successful resolution look like to you, Giller? Just out of curiosity.
Preferably, I would like to root out whatever evil has grabbed hold of the church and remove it, and allow things to continue normally and peacefully from there. I have a feeling it will not be that simple.
That may be an extra step.
Is that extra step horrible violence? Because that I'm on board for.
You already know it's horrible violence.
Yeah, I know it's horrible violence.
And Roland gives Emmerin a predator handshake.
Yeah, is there anything else that you want to ask of Giller before he heads off for the evening? Okay. You see him kind of give you a small bow, and as I said, anything you need, just ask. I shall see you in the morning. Enjoy your rest, it's well earned. He opens the door behind him, leaves, and you are now alone in this beautiful, almost castle-like structure. Warm fireplace, comfortable chairs, anything you could possibly want to drink or eat at your disposal. What do you guys want to do for the evening?